You never know. I managed to get my archer, well, my gladiator, who is also an archer. I got my archer class up to 18 just before I started the stream. Alright, so here we are. We left off here, but we just finished the last side quest. There are no more side quests. Before we go to the Shadow Lord's castle, though, I want to go around to each town's weapon shops and just make sure I haven't left any weapons unpurchased. Yeah, because here's two I haven't bought. Excellent. We were off to a good start on that idea. So what is our weapon collection at the moment? 84%. What happens if I get 1? Can I get 100% before ending B? And 2, if so, can I still get ending B? Because getting ending C/D is the same as getting ending B, but having all of the weapons is the different condition. Who knows? Maybe we'll fucking get the rest of all of the endings except ending E today. I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna take. But I've got all of the fucking... I've got all of the side quests done, so like... That was probably the longest chunk of the game. Was completing all of those goddamn side quests. Alright, so we've got all the weapons in the desert town. We know that much. Let's head to... And I'm pretty sure we have all the weapons in our town as well, but I'll double check.
Oh there.
If the Aerie had any weapons, they don't anymore. Let's see if Seafront has any weapons. And it's possible that there's like a weapon or two you can only get along Route B. That'll, you know, ensure you can't have all of them before you've done Route B. If I had to guess, I'd say that's probably the case.
Townspeople disappeared.
Alright, weapon guy. You have nothing. Well, I might have left some weapons behind in the Aerie. I'm not sure. But Seafront and the desert have no weapons. I'm pretty sure Hometown has no weapons.
Oh, there.
Does the Forest of Myth have a weapon shop? I'm gonna check. I don't think it does. Also, hold on just a second. Okay. Oh yeah, we got like sad music playing here.
Well,
Alright.
Be careful.
You ain't got anything. We'll go check the Forest of Myth. And the Brothers shop doesn't have weapons, they just upgrade them. I don't think there's a weapon shop here, but, you know, better safe than sorry. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on here. We did get a weapon here through the fortune teller lady. We got the pipe. Okay, well, I think we have all the weapons we can have, and if I left some in the area, that's my own fault. I'm sure I'd be able to go to visit the area on Route B and see about purchasing more. So I suppose we're off to the Shadow Lord's castle.
Oh, there.
That new Yakuza spin-off game. Yeah, I said that really weirdly. Yakuza. That new Yakuza spin-off game comes out tomorrow. The Man Who Erased His Name. I was looking at some gameplay for it. It almost looks like a Warriors game. I'm gonna have to watch the trailer for it. It looked strange. It's also not full priced. Alright, time to find out if we truly are over level. I get the impression I'm probably definitely a little over level. I really don't like these mage enemies. Please, just, you know what? I'm just gonna ignore him. Soon enough, I won't have to deal with him. Soon enough we'll be able to start Nier Automata proper. We get to listen to this great theme again. Ow, you fuck. Oh, I should update the magic words on my weapons. Or at the very least, this weapon. I used something, it wasn't what I wanted to use. Well, shit. Let's do some word stuff. Can I just like quickly apply words to all weapons? Is that a thing? I could have swore there was a way to just like auto-apply words. Equip best words. Can I just do that like to all? Equip best words to all weapons? Can we do that? Alright, we're doing it manually because I might as well. This will only take forever. That actually didn't take that long. I'm glad I can kill that guy in like 3 hits. Make your way through the hall of upside down cross doors. Yeah, I guess not too much reason to come over here. Hold on just a second. Thankfully, we've reached the point where even with all that armor, they're not that big of a deal. Okay. Here goes.
Such an ominous sight, and yet I find it strangely nostalgic.
Yeah. This is where Vice and I first met, and first fought together.
Wow! This is where you used to live, Vice?
Well, yes, I suppose, in a technical sense.
Pretty nice digs for a floating magazine.
At least it was free from annoying hussies like yourself.
You cannot turn back from this point. Continue.
And now the path is open.
Hop on an elevator, baby. Point of no return. Okay. Welcome to the Garden of Madness. Welcome to Elysium. What is this place? Retirement home?
To whom does the true voice speak?
What?
To whom does the true form show itself? You must answer.
It can talk!
I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
The hell is this?
I believe this is some manner of password.
Password?
Yes. The correct answer should grant us access to the castle. I feel confident I've heard this somewhere before.
Why did humans disappear from this world?
To whom does the... I ask, why did humans disappear from the world? You must answer.
Because of a black disease?
I answer, because of a black disease. I ask, how can humans extend their lives?
I want to say by separating body from soul.
I answer by separating body from soul.
I ask, what is the destination of souls?
I answer, they are placed in their corresponding shells.
Very well. You are acknowledged as master. You may enter.
Well then, it seems the way is open.
Did I get those right by chance? Were there no wrong answers? Phoenix Sword. Damage drops, magic power drops, but weight drops as well. Devila and Popola?
It's the twins from your village.
Popola? Devila? What are you doing here?
Hey, any chance you'll just go back to the village? This is a very dangerous place. Even if you can find Yona here, you probably can't get her out.
How did you get here?
Shh. We're asking the questions right now.
I'm gonna ask a question anyway.
What are you two doing here?
I'm not going to answer that. You can figure it out yourself.
We're here to rescue Yona.
No dice, huh? Well, I guess we don't have a choice then. No, I suppose not. How sad.
Are they mages?
We didn't want to fight you. We really didn't want to.
Devil! What's happening?
Sorry, but this fate was predetermined. Still, we spoke to truth. We really wanted to avoid this if possible. We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so. Until the next generation came along.
What are you talking about?
Are they shades?
I don't think so.
It's a lie! I don't believe it!
We never thought we'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire Weiss. You are a traitor.
What now? They copied my powers.
Shit on a shingle. They can use the sealed verses.
Of course we can. The power came from us in the first place. You were simply loaned a small portion of it.
Vice, are you all right?
Devila! Popola! Why are you guys doing this? Why are you siding with the Shades?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadow Lord.
Shadow Lord? So you've been on his side this whole time?
You must search for that answer yourself. You've got to face your own truth now. Please, enter the Shadow Lord's castle.
Devila and Popola are fighting us.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us through a great deal of...
You okay, Vice?
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest assets. But now the latter seems to be... Well,
Vice?
do not look at me like that. I am Grimoire Vice. I am perfect.
I'm not happy about whatever's happening to Vice.
I think I hear a waltz.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
They're all shades!
I think we're locked in!
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
Oh boy.
Damn it! They won't stop coming!
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
Oh, how I do love a good
Vice!
Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us!
Kaine! Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
No, you idiot! What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Stop, you impatient fool!
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard! Open the fuck up already! Ugh! Got it.
Kaine, look out!
These things are freaking me out. Kaine, what's wrong?
We need to help Kaine.
You okay?
Yeah. Well, we got problems. Forgiveness, asshole.
Kaine?
Oh boy. A giant boar, my best friend in the game.
How should I know?
Kaine, are you...
Damn shit.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Can we even hurt this thing?
Fuck.
Also, hold on. Adjusting the volume just a little bit.
No.
I can't stop now. Damn it.
Stay focused, Kaine. Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on. We have to keep going.
Let's go. This way. Move.
Okay, I don't know what was going on with that guy. Dragoon Lance. Now what are we at? 90% weapons.
Up here.
How can we deal with this thing?
Ooh, I should not be wasting time on these boxes.
Please, hurry.
Damn it, I can't get it open.
Attack incoming!
The entrance is locked too.
It seems we are in a bit of a predicament.
How'd you guys get here?
傘程度と地いるとて
I mean, thanks.
出土地汗ようりきっときっとだあらペルアと試練地無石音いらこくかつて What are you doing here? サルリとしたとカイザムとキロだろ
You are correct.
いやあらたて賛成だふわりとてトラス感化しチンで But あらペルアとどんだ来てキリゴイタにあいやとさちちさったと止めるたカイザムチ That's it! Get out! Hey! Stop! Let me go! Stop it! Damn it! King, no! ギ後でアリクラーサアゴ No! Open the door! You can't fight that thing on your own! You cook! Oh, Tauki! Arta! Ito! 来るとこっちいる勝てケータルイトエチケロアルテリアだせギウジ各石技師真鍮カレルタカイザムテラスあんだあらたてウラーヌペルアとチウラーヌカイザムとチ Open the damn door!
Knock it off already. Let's go.
Kaine.
He's fighting for you. And for Fira. Don't let him die for nothing.
My friend.
Oh boy, they're stocking us up.
Devila! Popala!
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Gestalt?
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Weiss? Then let's give you a refresher.
Obtained Project Gestalt documents.
Weiss! My mind. I remember, Devila, Popola. You are not human. In fact, oh no.
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real bitch. You want to finish that thought for him, sister? All of us. Every person standing in this room are mere shells created by the true humans.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No, they still live on. You know them as shades. Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths agape and just get down to business.
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time. Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty. Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans. You have your own motives, your own desires. And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
Don't speak such foolishness.
Sorry.
Can I read those documents? Project Gestalt, Report 0923. As noted in the previous report, implementation of Gestalt mode can prevent the white chlorination syndrome we recently experienced. Transfer of bodily information to civilization, repressed replicants, is proceeding as planned, with the genes of the originals safely stored inside. Our role as surveillance androids to prepare for when the incurable bacterial disease eventually dies out is also underway. So far, this is proceeding without issue. Observer 021, codename Popola. Project Gestalt, Report 9182. This document discusses potential strategies for the relapse cases we have observed in recent years. The term relapse, of course, refers to the catastrophic loss of sentience seen in certain gestalts. This syndrome has defied even our most pessimistic initial estimates and continues to trend upward with disturbing speed. With some relapsed gestalts beginning to attack replicants, there is an urgent need to take comprehensive action. We remain convinced that an unknown technological defect in the Gestalt transformation process is responsible for the condition, but so far have been unable to confirm this theory. Research of this condition is now our top priority, and looks likely to continue for some time. Project Gestalt Report 10432. Shorthand minutes of Case 23. Emergency Response Conference. Committee Special Meeting. Issue. Observed upward trend in relapses. Noted and discussed. Issue. Acceleration of restoration schedule. Approved. Report. Debate over using codename Noir for human restoration schedule. Report. Preparations to launch Vice decoding system for above. Report. Order collection of guidance and release codes for Atom alongside Vice. Launch. Observer 021, codename Popola. Observer 022, codename Devila. Project Gestalt Report 11242. We have determined that the rise of relapses was due to an unexpected spike in the sentience of replicants, as well as a genetic instability within the original Gestalt. It seems the original's effect on bodies that have undergone the Gestalt process was not anticipated in advance. Immediate action must be undertaken to identify the links between this trend and the original Gestalt along with its sister, the relapsed case known as Yona. The observer contact group is growing uneasy, so finding a solution to the relapse issue should be considered a top priority. See other reports for more details. Observer 021, codename Popola. Okay, before I continue, let me run to the bathroom real quick. Okay, I'm back. So I just got a notification that one of my videos was blocked. Fatal Frame Part 2, so uploaded years ago on YouTube, just got blocked in Russia. And I'm curious why. I'm morbidly curious why. What was in Fatal Frame 2 that all of a sudden Sony had to block in Russia? Take me to the section. It does. Holy. Oh, you know, I remember exactly what that is. And now this video is going to be blocked in Russia. Sky joined me way back in the day when I was playing Fatal Frame 1. And he sent me a song. I was playing Luigi's Mansion theme to destroy the atmosphere of that game. And he sent me a song from X-Holic that sounds surprisingly close to the Luigi's Mansion theme. And apparently Sony was like, all right, we're not going to let Russia have this anymore. All right, let's get back to our really fun adventure that's currently, you know, really great. Can't wait to see what happens next.
You and us, we're the same. Tools in the hands of a master.
No, I'm nothing like you.
Devila? Devila? Popola, are you crying?
No! Don't die!
You know, Popola, I understand now why we're twins. It's because we were born without souls.
Devila, I can't stop the bleeding. Oh god, I can't stop it.
This world is too lonely for one without a soul. There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing. And yet somehow our tears still work. It's kind of weird. Sorry, sis. I love you.
Devila! Devila! Don't you go! No, I can't be alone! Devila!
Popola. Let's stop this now.
Stop? Stop? Now you want to stop? You think you have the luxury to stop? You cut down my sister like a goddamn animal and now you want to stop? Popola, wait! It doesn't have to— No one stops! It's way too late to stop! No one stops!
Please, don't do this, Popola! You and Devila were like parents to me!
Those two have watched the world wither for time immemorial. The cruelness of such a fate is difficult to imagine.
I don't want to do this! I
I don't want to fight her!
Stop bitching and start fighting. It's the only way.
Her attack patterns kind of remind me of that final boss from Drakengard.
No stopping. No stopping ever.
The bridge! Blast! We're trapped.
I've got an idea.
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right. You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes. And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. But there's something else there now. Something like pride, you know? I mean, without all this, I couldn't have become your friend. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.
Emil!
For so long, all I could do was destroy. But now, I have a chance to save something.
No!
Now get going, okay?
Emil!
Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
Emil! Emil!
Emil! You jackass, get back here!
Oh dear. Kaine's so unstable, and Vice can't stop arguing with people. I hope they can hold it together once I'm gone. Well, I guess they'll just have to learn. I want to see you again. I want to see all of you again. Just one more time. I'm scared. I don't want to die.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Sky. How's it going? In this game, currently, Grimoire of Vice's mind is failing. Emil just sacrificed himself to take out Popola, who was thrown into a rage after we killed Devila. The shades are all that's left of humanity. Our characters were meant to be the shells for humans' souls. And... I think that's what we've learned so far. I don't know. Devila and Popola said that everyone in the Shadow Lord's castle is not a human. And I mean, yeah, the king and his people did show up to help us get this far. So I guess they count. I guess the Gestalt program was designed to separate humans' souls from their bodies in an effort to extend their lives. We are characters who are just those shells. But they were having problems with shells relapsing from the development of their own consciousnesses. And so the Shadow Lord,
Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
I guess, is meant to be our body's original soul.
to stand against the Shadow Lord.
Don't speak in such a manner, fool. I am nothing like you. Strike it when it has stopped.
Be careful!
I know.
So, I'm already starting to see how things develop into Nier Automata. And just today I've learned things I didn't even know.
Vice, you alright?
Naturally, I am as fit as a fit.
You know, it occurs to me that Kaine being half shade means that she has half of a human soul.
Wait.
And if Yona's infected with the Black Scrawl as well, it means there's a pretty good chance Yona has a human soul.
Brother?
Yona.
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it.
They're one and the same, Sky.
There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him.
The sickness Yona developed was her body and soul rejoining. Or her new body and her old soul.
It's you, isn't it?
Yes, it's me. Let's go home.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what to. I'm so very sorry. No matter what. Just know that love you.
Hurry. The shade that possessed her is gone.
Kind, watch over Yoda for me. You want me to understand your sadness? You think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends.
So Nier Automata
They must stand aside
is a
and be
story
cut down.
about a bunch of shells
Now,
who've
come on.
literally
Let's
lost their
finish this.
purpose.
Vice, what's wrong?
You're freaking me out here, Vice.
What are you doing? Come to... Just do it! Strike the killing blow!
I don't like listening to Weiss fucking fail to exist.
No bother. One moment, please. You okay? Fine, just fine. Alright, no, I'm not.
Vice,
It seems some headstrong idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Vice, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
Let's go. Out of the way. I have one final task to fulfill.
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
You can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that, yes? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Vice. I knew you'd come around.
Don't let it go to your head now.
Vice is more or less a prototype for the pod units.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live. Shut up. Is Yona all right? Oh god, no.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
Weiss? Where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form. Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely. Your sister is safe. Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her. Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
I don't know.
Typical. But take heart. I know you can do it.
What's my favorite food? Cookies. What's my favorite book? That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place? Home with you. What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course. Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone?
I'm typing my own name in here. Ugh.
Is that you?
Yona.
Is this my body?
Yes, Yona. It's yours and yours alone.
You look bigger than before. Like you've grown up.
Well, yeah. I guess you haven't seen me for a while.
Have I been asleep this whole time?
Something like that.
It's almost like I'm a princess from some fairy tale.
Oh, Yona. I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Kaine.
You and your sister, you have a good life, Kay?
Where are you gonna go?
Guess I'll...
You could stay with us, you know.
Thanks, but I'll pass. You know how it is. I got my own shit to take care of.
What do you mean?
Personal shit, alright? Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Kaine.
Hey, look. It's beautiful. For the longest time, I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it. Thank you. I love it. It's so sunny today.
Yeah, it sure is.
Well, sad things happened, but I would certainly not consider ending A to be a sad ending. Humanity was lost before the game started. Their souls had somehow become shades. Creatures that couldn't even exist in the daylight. All of the people we were interacting with were vessels. Vessels originally designed for those shades, back when they were human souls. And apparently, at some point, the vessels developed their own consciousness. And there were still some shades who desired to have their bodies back. Or their new bodies, if you will. Yeah. With possibly the exception of Emil being a bioweapon. But that still makes Emil not a human. At the end of the day, all of us were manufactured. And we learned that Devila and Popola were in charge of our manufacture. Devil and Popola also are not shells designed for souls to inhabit. They are simply shells designed to do their task. Apparently, the shells were based on humans, so all of these shells are people. But Devila and Popola are not based on anybody. Specifically, yes. I mean, so far I could see ending A connecting into Nier Automata, minus Emil's death. Because Emil survives in some form into Automata. Somehow, I imagine the endings will only get sadder from here. Load your clear data after completing the game to experience Kaine's story. You can now read A Departed Mother's Diary in your house. Wardrobe has been added to the options menu. New outfits can be obtained by progressing through A Departed Mother's Diary. Change music has been added to the game settings section of the options menu. Are you saying time to get personally persecuted because we'll be playing as Kaine? Or because you're about to vote?
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
Kaine's dreams. Discrimination. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as anyone could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on, come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life, spinning this way and that for a moment. It finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East. Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo. Worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave, he can't hurt me. Can't hurt me, he can't hurt. Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless, a failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home. Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke, in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock, you can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it, what are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch, a big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out. Leave this village. No one wants you here, either of you. Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Huh, look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. "Oh, Kaine," she said. "Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot." The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. "Don't be nice to me," she said. "I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore." Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. "Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead." As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. "Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath, understand?" The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. I will point out Kaine's grandmother is a human because she turns into a shade. "You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it." As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all of these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. "Do I make you sick, Grandma?" "Of course not. Don't be an ass." Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. "My body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't..." "Hush," interrupted Grandma. "I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell." With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. "Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me?" Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. "Where did you find these?" "Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping." The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. "Didn't quite turn out right," said her grandmother as she squinted at it. "These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you." Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty?" "Of course you are. What a fool thing to say." "Thank you, Grandma." Her grandmother smiled. "We're gonna be fine, you and me," she said. "Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine." "Hello, Josh." Kaine took her grandmother's hands in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vein and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished seemingly, taken away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams, daily life. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master swordsman, or woodsman, go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stalk such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. "Grandma," called Kaine. "That you, Kaine?" yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Don't get too close, or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine, close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma, do you need help? And get you water or lunch or, a new axe or something?" The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the Eyrie. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter. And rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it. Ah, crap. She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough. My logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. "Pretty clumsy girl. You better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma." The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. You can't let it spill." Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that! Just stop! She cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit, but I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky. She was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her and muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling everyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey lady, said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? They seemed to say. But Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. I mean, what are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Huh, barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head, but before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. Sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said, as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Oh shit, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help me with dinner. But Kaine would not relent. And in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house, as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between her laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But Hush. You won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart. I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face. An action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness." It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory. A perfect blend of pride and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on, people and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kaine's dreams, separation. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. "Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug." The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. "It's no bug, you fool, girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs?" "Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug," said Kaine. "And I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible." With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. "Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right." "Why, you little brat," laughed the old woman. "Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact." 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so, this morning, found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. "Where are you going today?" asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. "Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. Thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow." "Flagstones? What in the hell for?" Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around her home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. "Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. Going to build a stone wall so we have some protection." The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. "God damn, girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway." "Not worried about thieves, I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday." The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. "Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other..." "Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight, you know that." A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. "Yes," she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought. Instead, walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're going to be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and built-in defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman. And there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quacking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, and slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she'd ever seen them. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, girl, sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot, I'll be fine, and when you come back I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead, and made ready to depart. Trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart, Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look, and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut, with a sad expression on her face. Gods, she looked so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No. Oh gods, no. Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma? Kaine ran, then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of all the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race, in time with her footfalls. It's too dark, not just fire. Can't be fire, too much smoke. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her. a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. "All right, you bastard," she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me, let's go." The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma." At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive," thought Kaine. "Alive." Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot the trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up, 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 get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them was surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma, hold on, just a little longer." Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, and the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. "Bastard," laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. "Yeah, I see your plan." The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. "I'm gonna kill this bastard." Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backwards, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. "Kaine?" Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. "Grandma?" "Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one." Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. "Grandma, come on. We have to go." The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. "Grandma? No. No! I said run, god damn it. You have to live. You have to get through." A thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into the smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames. All of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it, 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 kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
Well, that was a lot of reading.
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
Not that I'm complaining.
My sword feels lighter. It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Kaine's dreams encounter. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of an arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Huh, cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you, that way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No, don't hurt that picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely in the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture into the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was. A smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. I look like that? Oh God. Oh God, I'm gonna die. Gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something. Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. Don't make wishes, they don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. Should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh God, you are the best. Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up. Ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips, When it resumed, it was filled with mud. Unabated joy. Mad, unabated joy. I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. What the hell, Sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal. Thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Ha ha ha! Stupid idiot girl, you're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed, whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me? We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, heard the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies, people you want to kill, I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you, that big old shade that squashed your granny, we'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine, no more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Ha ha ha! Screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyran. If you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour, and I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. When I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, you know, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, and then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. Feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath, stared at it. Sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please, try to understand. People are tired and scared, and... I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But...
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Xenoblade 3 has one cutscene that's like basically a movie.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going.
Wait, is that...
Campfire? I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
Here's something I don't remember seeing in Scenario A.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is... different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
So how are we doing tonight?
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
This is new.
Say there, can you not hear me?
The fuck? Wait, this is the
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
This is the character you played as in the original American version of Nier. Which means this scene is probably unique to this version. This is the world of the recycled vessel, created to avoid the destruction of all. Huh. I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but I'm down for it. Wasn't expecting them to reference the American version at all. And let me tell you, this is some music I can get behind. Also, this character is voice acted by the owner of Cafe LeBlanc. Oh, this is a really good remix. This is like some goddamn Zone of the Enders music. Why isn't this version in theater rhythm? The Black Scrawl, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. I really like this visual filter we have on right now. I could play an entire game that looked like this. Soldiers of salt calling forth white death. They are legion, those who plunge the world into darkness. I already have speculations about what this is. Obviously a reference to the original American game. American version of the original game. Fool's Embrace. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. The original American version of Nier altered the story because Square was afraid the original would not appeal to Americans in 2010. This little section began when we started reading our supposed mother's diary. Of course, our character being a replicant created in the Gestalt program, he doesn't have a mother. I'm speculating that this story that is playing out here is both a reference to the original American version of Nier, which is a version of Nier that went against what its creator wanted it to be, and a falsified story about a character's parents. I don't know the extent of the alterations. But I got to imagine, like, the time skip where you age up and stuff like that must have been changed. Because it's kind of important that the main character goes from being small to being big, because he gets access to weapons he couldn't wield before. The black sickness stains the future. They journey to return to soulless vessels. Then, of course, it's a journey to save your daughter instead of your sister. I don't imagine the overall story is too different, but I do know concessions were made that the creator wasn't happy with Yoko Taro. Which is why the remake only contains the Japanese version of the game. However, they've somehow snuck in a little bit of the American version. One thing I'll point out, you know, given that, well, I guess, no, that wouldn't really have to change too much, I guess. Obtain the Kabuki outfit. Okay, apparently we can play this in sections. I'm gonna save real quick before we do more of it, because I'm curious.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Diary again?
Yeah. Lately, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
The world of the recycled vessel.
We just read a visual novel. You want me to do another one? Actually, it was not so much a visual novel and more just a novel. It was visual in the sense that it was displayed on the screen of a computer instead of the pages of a book. The apocalypse divided the world in two, one that knows not day and one which has never seen the night. No magic, got it. Black and white, 13 packs. The vessel's forms waver as they cross time and space. No surprise, this is the hardest part of the game so far. Are you suggesting you'd like to see me play Danganronpa 2 sometime soon? I mean, I wouldn't mind. I will eventually at some point. I even own 3. Haven't touched it, but I own it. Yeah, I'm gonna say right now we're in the middle of a video gaming renaissance. And here I am playing a remake of a video game from 2010. Currently playing like a TLDR version of the American version.
Seems we have been shut in.
Real quick, out of curiosity, I'm going to look up the difference between Nier Replicant and Nier Gestalt. The differences between Nier Replicant and Gestalt are fairly minor. The main difference has to do with the main character and their relationship with Yona. In Replicant, you are a young teenage man and Yona is your sister, but in Gestalt, you are in your 40s and your daughter is Yona. The main narrative of the game remains the same, but some dialogue is changed based on the differences between the two characters. The relationship between Nier and Yona is totally different, but there aren't any massive changes. Outside the different main characters, the two versions of Nier are practically the same game. The only other difference is that each version has a few unique music tracks, making Replicant's soundtrack more ambient and ethereal, while Gestalt is more direct. While both versions of Nier were released in Japan, Square Enix opted to just go with the Gestalt version in the US. Oh, so I guess the Gestalt also came out in Japan. At the time, Square Enix thought the aesthetics of Gestalt would appeal much more. Western audiences were more likely to take to a father-daughter relationship than a brother-sister one, at least in their minds. This is also represented in the character designs, with Gestalt's Nier being a hyper-masculine buff hero, while Replicant has an effeminate young man. Because Nier is a niche JRPG, it simply wasn't worth bringing another version of the game to the West when the other was already available. Of course, times have changed, and niche JRPGs are more popular than ever. Even Nier's sequel, Automata, has sold over 4 million copies to date. Now, the original Nier Replicant can build off of the success of Automata and get the chance it didn't have before. So there you go. At their core, the same game. Different music, different protagonist, different relationship with Yona. And I think what they've done is taken this idea of the other protagonist from Gestalt and turned him into a storybook character. I do love the idea of describing the original Nier as a niche JRPG. Because, yeah, in 2010, JRPGs were still fairly niche. And Nier would have been the niche of the niche.
It seems we have been shut in.
It's interesting that they keep referring to this character as the recycled vessel. The song of man has been drowned out. In its place, the scream of something inhuman. Well, I can't say I feel too bad for the humans. They turn into shades and then they kind of become dicks. Well, that's true, Sky, but we can accept that not all of them would have been. And I suppose the same could be said of the Shades, because we certainly encountered some that were interested in doing different things than the rest. Like the one that became friends with a robot, or the one that spent all of his time studying in the library. But realizing that all of the awful things the Shades would do to us throughout the story, and realizing what they are, like it kind of, it's kind of like a, I don't know, it kind of fucking sucks. I kind of just want to say, like, well, fuck you guys, your time is over. Let the next generation take over. Obtain the two-handed sword Fool's Lament. The sky falls with the dragon. The world ends this day. Okay, where are we? Because this is not a location I recognize. I'm just saying, to me, the Shades kind of come across as, like, the last dying gasps of a dead civilization. Desperately clinging to a meaningless existence. Meanwhile, a new form of life has taken root in the vessels that they once built for themselves. There are definitely some unique enemies I don't recognize. Well, the ending of Ending A would suggest as much. Yona's soul relinquishes her body so that her body, which has developed its own consciousness, can be with what it recognizes as its brother. So, the original Yona makes the decision to move on, and her brother follows her. And then the new replicants of Yona and her brother get to have their bodies and be themselves. That's Ending A. Yeah, they fucking go to heaven. I don't know. Like, you know, whatever they do. They become force ghosts. Regardless, the point is they move on. Like, they accept death. Exactly, yeah. They go back to the life stream, and they let the next generation take over. Okay, these guys got a fucking metric shit ton of health, let me tell you. Audio. Hold on. Can you hear me? Am I still able to be heard? I fucked something up. I leaned into my desk and unplugged my microphone. Hold on. Yeah, I'm really good at fucking it up. Listen, I just gotta push it a little bit away from the edge of the desk. The cable comes out of the bottom of the fucking microphone. Where am I supposed to put it? Okay, hopefully you can see me, hear me, everything's great. No, it's because I leaned into my desk and so my torso tugged on it. The old cable would come out on its own, but the new cable seems to stay in there pretty good. It's just a reminder that I need to sit up. I gotta sit up. Yeah, my mic posture checks me. If I lean forward, because I usually have it sitting right on the edge of the desk, so if I lean forward, my torso hits the cord and pulls it down. You know, between my torso and the edge of the desk. Only one of you fuckers left. Obtained medicinal herb ×5. Hello, Neo. No, this isn't Dragon Ball. The puppet priest collects the accursed prayers and polishes the vessel. Now we're in Facade. We have to fight our way through Facade. What the fuck? It's first person? I was waiting for my character to pan into view. Welcome to an arcade fucking shooter section. Turret section, that's what they're called. So, in the sections where shades had managed to make themselves look human, I wonder if they truly managed to make themselves look human or had simply found a vessel to take over. I imagine it's the latter. You know what I like about this game? We have the introduction of original Yona and main character in the opening scene where they're fighting in the city. And the main character relies on the power of Grimoire Noir to survive. And then it cuts, and we are all of a sudden two characters that look the same as those kids, but just kind of accept the fact that we're two characters who aren't the same characters. And then by the end of the game, you actually have a understandable explanation of how that happened. Why are we talking about Kirby and Deku and Dragon Ball in the chat? Like, what did I miss?
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if
I know what you mean. That happened.
Okay, I have 96% of the weapons. I need to look something up real quick. Nier Replicant. Obtaining all weapons before ending B. What does that do? Okay. I can get all of the weapons and still see ending B. Very nice. Let's get that. Let's do this last chapter of the quote unquote mom's diary.
The diary again?
So how are you doing tonight, Neo?
Yeah. Lately, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
The world of the recycled vessel.
Why are you guys reading about the 11th hour trope? It just got you guys curious? Okay. You sense something terribly sinister beyond this door. It may be difficult to endure what awaits on the other side unless your soul is at least level 33. I don't think we're level 32. Alright, we'll level up one more time and come back. The ending A of this game has given me similar feelings to how I felt when I first beat Nier Automata.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Oh, man. This game's gonna worm its way into being one of my favorites at this rate. Do I still have the Gestalt documents? No, I don't have them anymore. We got a bunch of documents that actually detailed the Gestalt program.
Hey.
Oh, hi. I kinda thought you'd never talk to us again.
I understand you're doing this for the village, and that you don't have a choice.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadow Lord with you.
I'm headed there next. Oh, and Devila?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
You don't need to apologize. Anyone would be upset when their friends are hurting. Let Emil and Kaine know that we're sorry, alright?
Alright.
So it's time to see what happens now to influence a different ending in Route B. I have all of the side quests completed from last time we played, so it's gonna be moving at a much quicker pace than it was previously.
Popola?
Oh. Hello.
Look, I want to apologize for
Stop. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but neither did you. You're just trying to protect the villagers. And I jumped down your throat for it.
It's very kind of you to say so. Regardless, please don't let it trouble you.
Ahem. I believe there was something you wished to discuss with us.
Oh, right. Yes, about that. You know about the lost shrine, right?
The temple where I was first discovered.
That's it. Well, it seems that the Shadow Lord's lair is connected to it somehow.
Yeah. We know, now we know that Popola's not just... Yeah, she knows. Of course she knows.
It was right under our pages the whole time.
But the bridge that leads there is unusable.
So take a boat.
A boat?
Yes. The canal's finally been repaired. It took a lot longer than expected. What with the shades and all. I also asked them to provide a boat at the path to the Lost Shrine's back entrance. The ferryman will let you use it free of charge. That should make it easier for you to move from town to town.
Thanks, Popola. I feel like you've done so much for me. I'm really grateful. All right. I'll see you around.
And for the love of everything, be careful.
The path above the entrance to the shopping district should lead to the boat landing.
How excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's use it as often as we need.
I wonder what's going to happen next. It's a shame I'm gonna have to save this soon.
Hey, look who it is. Remember me?
Yeah, I remember how you're gonna die, too.
That red bag. I By my pages, you're the slovenly half of that couple who refused to stop arguing.
Hey, it's been a while.
Sure has. I've been in charge of this canal since we last talked. Apparently I did a pretty good job with it because they decided to make me the permanent ferryman.
Oh yeah, huh? Congrats.
Thanks. Still, it's not all puppies and unicorns. The old ball and chain is always harping on me now about how much I work. Anyway, if you got a place to be, just let me know and I'll take you there.
You gotta go to the Lost Shrine. I have nowhere else to go.
The Lost Shrine's up ahead, just past this cave.
As well as the Shadow Lord's castle.
Let us make haste.
Here's a new cutscene. So those robots were named Hansel and Gretel. And it refers to the shades as defects, so I wonder... I mean, I imagine they didn't intend for human souls to turn into those. Something about this game feels like it's pushing down on my chest. Can't quite describe it.
Ain't you excited, sunshine? We finally get to bathe in blood.
Don't talk to me.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
And now we can hear the voice that of the soul trying to take over Kaine's vessel. I feel a lump forming in my throat.
This is all too easy.
No, because I don't know what awaits. Not wholly, not totally. But just, I don't know. Today's stream of this game has pushed my appreciation of it even further than I expected it to go. And I feel like, well, I don't feel like I've achieved a greater understanding of some stuff that happens in Automata, having played this now. I'm glad I finally got around to it. It's like how I understood this game better when I finally played Drakengard, but to an even greater degree.
What's with these guys?
Certainly not your garden variety, Shades.
Their bodies aren't fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
Who knew we had a fifth party member with us all along? We're getting fairly close to level 33. Oh, I remembered something I wanted to point out. Devila and Popola's designation numbers are 21 and Popola is 22. My day has been...
Emil?
Okay.
Look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
I spent my morning a little tired, had to take a nap, played some Final Fantasy XIV, got my archer class up to level 15.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't
18,
allowed in the village.
Actually.
It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Have fun.
Don't waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice of you, but you still don't have to stay out here with us.
No.
Emil.
You got a super important mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kaine. Sometimes we sit around the fire and tell stories, or roast...
Emil, that's enough. I got a fucking image to maintain.
No, archery, you have infinite arrows.
We seem to be surrounded by a mob of helpless puppies.
Just kick them aside.
This thing's determined to protect the shades from us.
There's dozens of them!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light. Pathetic to the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
Some of these scenes hit a little differently once you know what the shades are.
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying.
Are you talking about the bad things happening to Kaine?
Have you felled the beast?
Kaine found something in her adventure party that she never had before. Well, that she had once before, and that's people who care about her.
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Hey there, Sunshine. You ain't feeling bad this week, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You gotta lust for blood. Embrace the slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle. Ain't that right, Kaine?
Kaine!
Oh, you're kidding me!
Kaine!
Sorry, dude.
Kaine! Are you alright? Kaine!
I fear there is little we can do for her.
No! Kaine!
What is happening?
It's all over for you, Sunshine.
Kaine! Kaine! It's Kaine's shade!
There's no other choice. We must strike it down.
Kaine! Come back!
Thankfully, I'm super strong.
Oh dear.
Kaine! Kaine!
Kaine!
I couldn't hold it back. I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kaine. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak, and I'm sad, and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my friend, and I need you. So don't you dare leave me!
All right. Stop crying. And... thanks. I'm all right.
Over there. And what is this, hmm?
It's me. It's got some kind of writing on it, but I don't know what it says.
How remarkably useless of you. Well, let's go ask Popola.
Thanks, Grimoire Vice.
cipher of some kind.
Can you determine its meaning?
I think this is the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle. Here, take a look at this. I wrote down all the words I can understand. This fragment is called the Stone Guardian. Given that you found it in the Lost Shrine, the words must mean something. There are spaces here for 4 other fragments as well. Sacrifice, the Law of Robotics, the Memory Tree, Loyal Cerberus. The Law of Robotics probably refers to the Junk Heap, and the Memory Tree might be the Forest of Myth. But as for Sacrifice and Loyal Cerberus, I don't have a clue.
Not a problem.
Hmm?
If we want to fill in the words, we just run around the world killing every big monster we find, right?
Oh, splendid. By all means, let us undertake a murderous rampage.
They're just shades. Besides, it's the only way to reach the Shadow Lord.
It's a dangerous task.
Yeah, well, Yona's in even more danger.
But how can you even be sure that she's...
Because she is! Right?
Turns out he wasn't wrong.
The Junk Heap and the Forest of Myth, yeah? I'm on my way.
Please be careful. Oh, and listen. About Kaine and Emil. The villagers know how much they've sacrificed, and they're thankful. It's just... they're scared, you know? People can't change overnight. I'll hurry them along the best I can. But can you please give them a little more time?
I'll try.
Also want to take a look at something.
What is the purpose of this place?
Beats me. Maybe it's Popola's hobby corner. Popola said we might be able to find something in the Forest of Myth.
You will forgive me if I seem less than enthusiastic about such a trip.
Okay, well, I'm going to save this here for now. And we will resume our adventures, honestly, maybe tomorrow. As I really want to see what else happens. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow, and until then, have a good night.